Hopefully that comes through. Awesome. Are we live? Yes, we're live. Oh, so I've lost my other side of things. Cool. G'day, everyone. This is the second round to see if this will get going. If we don't get people in, that's fine, because I know this is not my usual live stream day, and it is a Thursday night after all. Anyway, even I was out. And I'm going to bring in my guest in, which is from Lazy Benchmarks. So let's get him in. Hello, Callan. How are you, mate?
How are we tonight, my friend?
Not too bad. I know you've. It's been a while. What's it now? Nearly a year.
It has been.
Nearly? It's getting close to a year.
Subscriber.
I know. Oh, g'day, Andy. How's it going? So, but yeah, I think it's like not only just a subscriber. It was just, I think that was when we had the Threadripper come through.
Yeah, was it the 3995 WX?
Yeah,
the big Threadripper. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice computer, and it's still coming through quite strong there. But yeah, it's been a while, and I think we haven't seen you for a while. So I'm doing very well, Andy. And how about you, mate? How's the lockdowns down there for you? So, but no, I think it's been a while that we've actually caught up anyway, and I can see you've pretty much put your channel on a back burner at the moment.
Very true, very true.
Yeah. So I can understand. Even I put myself on a back burner because I've been doing other stuff for besides the YouTube sort of things, of course, and of course work has gone pretty crazy, and we've got quite a bit of a year with a lot of releases, which is kind of normal. But I think it's with all the delays that we get. I'm not sure about yourself from your company, because I know that you don't really deal with the IT side for the amount of work that you do. But I do, and there's just a lot of shipping issues left, right, and center, where we'll get anywhere between, like, if we're lucky, we get things like in 6 weeks' time. That's really quick for us. Yep. But most of the times it's anywhere between 3 to like 5 months. So it's pretty hectic on our side. When they come in big batches as well.
You probably have to be ordering everything so far in advance.
You do.
Just to preempt people grabbing the orders. Yeah.
That's it. So I don't know if you do purchasing in your business that you work for or not.
I just lodge an IT request myself and then pray
and hope for the best. No, but yeah, I deal with a lot of people ordering a lot of stuff. And oh, you're in that. Sorry, I thought you were down in Sydney, Andy. But that's good. At least you're not in lockdown.
It's nice,
just like us in Brizzy.
And COVID free.
Yeah, COVID free. That's exactly it. So you get the New South Wales life, like us Queensland life, out and about. The only thing we got to do is just have a mask around wherever we do anyway. So that's kind of good. But yeah, no. So we have now at work, we have to like tell everyone to pretty much prepare to order things, who have budget holders, to say order. Well, basically, this is the month. Well, actually, they've probably gone past, because if we got anything for Lenovo, Dells, we've got a chance for another month or so. But Lenovo's more than likely they won't come in this year at all. So that's pretty much it. So that's probably something that your company would be the exact same as well too. So yeah. But yeah, anyway. So what's happening with you, mate? For the last 10 months or so, that hasn't been there, because I know you've been playing games, which is kind of something I'm going to probably talk to you about.
Absolutely. The game is most of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Putting use of your graphics cards.
Yeah. So after everything started to become out of stock during our COVID crisis, it's kind of hard to always to put out benchmarks when lots of the people like you would have experienced too. It's hard when you review an item, but then they can't obtain the item for 6 months. Yeah. So then
have you actually? Go for it. Keep going.
Then it's kind of like, why am I watching this content if I can't even get it myself? So that's kind of a bit rough, but also then as well, because obviously I have so many video cards, and with crypto picking up, it's like, well, why not take the opportunity to have the channel's outlay repay itself back?
Yeah,
with a bit of crypto mining.
Exactly. That's a great idea at the moment while your cards are not doing very much. You can make itself
Exactly.
earn itself. Have you actually had any issues? Have you actually got any of those TI versions at all, and played with them for
The
yourself?
3060 Ti's,
I think
like
there's like 3070s and 3080s
oh,
TIs
you
now
mean
as well
the
too.
newer low hash rate cards? No, I haven't.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Because I was wondering how they go for like gaming. Is it really worth a lot of people to pay for the extra money for the gaming side? Because I don't think they've increased any of the VRAM on them at all. So it's not going to be that much of a beneficial for a lot of the what we call research, which does use those like either 10
Absolutely.
gigs or 8 gigs or stuff like that.
I think the 3080 low hash rate card went up to 12 gig. I think
Is
I
it
could be
12 gigs?
wrong.
Oh yeah, so they increased it by
um,
2 then anyway.
but for the most part, cost wise, no, because lots of the retailers are listing 3070 Ti's for the same price as what they had the 3070s for, and they just pretty much swapped one SKU for another.
Yeah.
So the price wise is not much of the same. So you probably get maybe a free 5% performance boost for the same cost. So yes, it is overpriced and
Yeah.
for what it is, but if you're paying the same price anyway, 5% is better than nothing.
Yeah, that's true. That's
So
true. But that is true. Nothing at all. But do you
yeah.
actually find like the extra because you said there might be an increase. I have to have a look and if there is an increase on the VRAM, like does that actually make an impact to games at all? Because I know it makes an impact for us for research or
It
the
does
extra
if you're
RAM.
up towards like the 4K plus range for your viewing size,
Yep.
or if you're not using DLSS, because like for myself, for example, I have a 49-inch ultra wide monitor, so that's two 1440p screens side by side essentially, and
Yep.
in some of the games like Doom on the max settings, it would be pulling like 11 gig of VRAM. So obviously, if you have like a 3070 card, you'd be pushing up against its buffer. At the moment, until like I think the PS5 and the Xbox start pushing out some new AAA titles. Presently, there's not really that issue currently, but yeah, I think once they
Yeah.
start pushing out some new titles, with like using the new Unreal 5 engine and stuff like that, we might see it starting to affect the lower VRAM
Yeah.
cards for sure.
Cool. No, because I have seen one or two. I think there was a documentary about the Unreal Engine 5, just the engine itself.
It
For
looks
later on,
amazing.
how realistic it is.
Yeah.
So it's going to take advantages of a lot of the graphics cards that we have. So I'm also wondering if they're going to take advantages of for the Quadro series as well, and also for AMD. I think they're the Radeon Pros. So I'll
Yep.
be interested to see how those runs as well too.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have a friend, actually you might remember him, the dance teacher, Jose. He's now doing VR.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
yes.
his firm designs VR environments for like workplace health and safety kind of stuff. So they might have
Yep.
someone who needs to learn how to drive a new truck or a digger and stuff like that. So his company will
Yep.
do the VR design and stuff for it. And he was saying that they were looking at Unreal Engine 5. And they're like, it has so many opportunities for them because they can just go and grab their iPhone and scan in the 3D model, and then they can make like a huge big sandpit environment for them to play around in these vehicles and stuff in the 3D space. So it's going to be some amazing what they can put out.
Well, I was at the I think what you call it, one of those quick seminars or just presentations for, I think it was for bioscience, and what they were doing is they actually using the HoloLens. I think they're using HoloLens 2 now, and pretty much it's sort of a similar sort of style. Like if you remember, so I think the movie was called Final Fantasy. I think it was like it was a CGI movie a long time ago. Final Fantasy.
It was about 13, 14.
Yeah, and pretty much it's kind of like with the what's the other one? Minority Report. I think it was with Tom Cruise.
Yep.
Yeah, and so they were actually they were actually doing all the stuff like on just like kind of Iron Man sort of style with your hands, and then you actually get to transform things, wearing things virtually, and you actually, but they were doing it for medical reasons to teach their medical students the dissectional areas, cross-sectionals, as well as performing a lot of diagnostics for patients. And it was quite amazing because once you hit onto it, it's wow, this is kind of cool, new way of training for it. So definitely.
Absolutely.
I even saw some stuff with some of the concerts. Now I'm not sure if you ever heard about this thing. Over in China, there is what they call a virtual superstar. I
Okay.
forgot the name. So the
Is it
virtual
like an AI
superstar.
singer or?
Yes, it is an AI
Oh,
singer actually, which is kind of cool. I am going to quickly do a YouTube search for it because, not YouTube search.
I only say that because there was a Star Trek episode where this is probably, I don't know, like 12 years ago, where
Yeah,
they had a holodeck doctor, and they went to this alien planet, and then at this alien planet, everyone's like, "Oh my god, this hologram, his vocal range is so amazing," and he became a superstar on that planet.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. No,
yeah. So technology has gotten that stage now. Obviously, they have that too.
yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, yeah, there he is. Tian Ying is the name of the superstar. It's a very interesting one. So let me see if I can bring her in. And she actually holds concerts.
Wow.
I'm just going to try and YouTube it. She actually holds concerts. She has her own fan base. I'm just going to try and show you that. It is pretty amazing. And you go WTF. So let me just kind of bring in one of these. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but we'll give it a go. Wait, let me find one where they actually sing with other people as well, because she comes in with singing. Oh, here we go. I know which one to do it with. I'll spell his name at the moment. Here it is. There it is. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so let me see if I can share this display. I am going to try share. What? Hold on. Actually, I've got a better one.
On the fly here.
Yeah, I'm on the fly at the moment, so I don't think we've got people joining, but that's fine. But we'll just have a chat anyway as we're doing things anyway. So wait a minute, let me have a look at this. I know it's called grain salt. Wait, Tian Ying. Oh, geez, what's her name now again? Oh, here it is. And you'll be blown by this because she has a massive following. And you would not believe. I only found her out probably about a couple months ago because I was listening to a person sing, and I was like,
Yeah.
"This can't be right. This is really bizarre." how this one. Okay, here we go. And I'm going to show you. How do I share this screen? All right, here we go. Share. Share screens. This is new to me. I'm learning things as we're coming through. Share. Okay, now we've got now. I only
There we
want
go.
one.
They got everything.
I don't want that. I want everything. I just want a window. Wait, let me get the window only. I don't want this. Let's remove this completely. Stop screen. I just want one window. Share screen. A window. That's the one I want. All right, cool. So this here, I'm just gonna play this anyway. Well,
Yep.
I don't know is the audio coming through or not, but
no, I can't hear it.
Okay, good. We don't really need the audio anyway, so I'm just gonna fast forward that.
DMCA'd.
And so this is Tian Ying, and it's really interesting to see this because she'll sing along with she's a proper artist who sings,
Yep.
like a very famous one in China, and they all sing together. But what makes it really interesting is if I can find you one of her Let It Go. I found this the other day. I was like, what? This is crazy. I was like going, this is crazy, this concept. So here you go. So she comes out. I'm just going to bring it up. So he starts singing. Okay. So this is on stage.
Yep.
And they bring, this is, okay. So give me a second. Let's break this thing out. And I was wondering, come on, as you can see, my internet's not fantastic at all. There. G'day, Science Social. How are you doing? That's good to see. All right. Let's have a look at this. High quality services increase your base. Oh, okay. We've got some people coming in. G'day, Brian. How are you doing? I know, advertising. Isn't that through like Twitch? I've just realized that's coming through Twitch anyway. I don't know if this is going to come through, but I really want to show you this video anyway. It is quite crazy. So
full packs sold out concert.
Oh yeah, it's a full pack concert. Oh, come on, computer. What's the deal with my internet? It's just crap at the
Doing too
moment.
many things at once.
Yeah, it could be doing too many things at once. G'day, Brian. How are you doing? I'm doing good as well. I'm just showing this virtual sing star that China has actually got. Her name is Tian Ying, Lu Tian Ying, I think it is. Okay, here we go. Well, I'll go over back, and you go, WTF? How do they do this? Because I was going, because they usually use like holographical. Give me a second. I'm just trying to bring
Like
this in.
prisms and stuff like that
Okay.
to contain the
Yeah,
image.
that's what I thought. I thought, but look at this.
Yeah.
This actually jumps off stage, and she goes along the rest of the stage.
That's
and
crazy.
You go, how the hell do they do this?
Because like when
I was going, this can't be
look
right.
at that, unless you were saying that, I would think it'd be like how they put in all the advertising when you watch football or something on the field, just like by adding it in post.
That's it. And it's crazy. You go, how the hell can they bring this CGI in? Now, what I finally found the research for this stuff. So in her normal concert where she's actually on stage, I'll just let this run because you guys can't hear it anyway. Let me kind of bring this volume down because I can hear it. It's really annoying me. What they used to use is holographic projectors at the start. But then when I saw this one, which becomes 3-dimensional, where they actually get her out on the outer stage, what happens is this sort of style, when you're physically there, you can't see her. But what you have to do is you've got to bring your mobile phone in, and then she appears as an AR. So you watch her through the AR, which is really cool because you can be anywhere around the stadium and you'll see her on your phone. So I was like, wow, I'm blown by this technology they use. Like, this is crazy. Of course, these Sept cameras have got the AR built into them, whatever they do. But you're going, this is insane. Just like a concert like that. And how we're going with the virtualized concept. So yeah, they use AR for that stuff. But when she's not in this sort of 3D, she's in her normal systems. Like when we, I'll just go back one. Let's have a look. Okay, I'll just do one of these ones here. So if I just bring this one back in. Whoa! Sorry, this is the Let It Go one. I didn't want Let It Go. Hey, where'd it go? Let's bring back what I had before, the very first one. Sorry, here we go. Yeah, so if this one here, so this one here, they use holographical projectors to do this. So she is actually on stage for this, and she is not technically sung by anyone for it. She actually uses
kind of voice?
Yeah, an AI kind of voice. So she can sing any song they decide to program her with. She has her own massive following. She does ads as like a normal superstar. I'll just pause this away. So she does ads like a normal superstar does. She takes sponsorships. So she's treated like a normal human being. Wow. And you're going, what the fuck? And she's got like massive fan base that actually, just like your normal cosplay and Comic-Cons and stuff, that she's got her own. And I'm blown by just the technology these days that comes through it.
I remember reading an article a while ago because I follow a few different AI YouTube channels, but like you're saying, how that's all composed and sung by an AI. Essentially, there's stuff going through Hollywood at the moment where lots of actors are worried because now you can generate a character that looks human-like and voice over without actually requiring a human actor. So there's lots of
so it'll be interesting to see the entertainment system. The future's coming, and we might not even have our normal stars doing the voices and stuff, even though it's nice, I think. But moving along, how things are created. And I did watch a documentary as we're going back to the Unreal Engine 5. They're doing the same thing with using the Unreal Engine 5 to actually create movies. So that's kind of nice to see, and that's all thanks to a lot of the gaming side of things. So all our video cards that we're getting, they're just so powerful compared to what we have. So
did you ever watch Ready Player One?
Yes, I did. I've watched it. I can't remember, but I did watch it.
How they have all of the haptic suits and with that, I remember watching a documentary on it where they actually a lot of the props that and ideas that they used in that actually have already been designed and work for the most part. Like the floor that the person was running on, they actually have those
Yeah.
omnidirectional treadmills,
Yeah.
as well as haptic gloves, where like in the VR world you can go and grab a rock and it will lock your hand, like it'll feel like you're actually holding onto something
Onto it.
heavier, or if it's hot or it's cold, like there'll be so many different
Sensor
like heating
parts to it.
elements and cooling elements in the
Yeah.
gloves, which give you these senses of it being cold and wet and heavy. And yeah,
Wow.
it's just really cool that in
Well,
15, 20 years time that movie could actually become reality,
well,
all
maybe
because
virtual
games
sex
are
will happen as
pushing.
well.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you, as always, what they say is the porn industry pushes the industry quite
Well, I
far.
mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That's probably what it came from anyway. So, but no, that is interesting to see what we're getting for technologies for just the AI, the graphics, and also what we're researching besides all the medical stuff they're researching, which filtered down anyway. So it's nice to see what's happened here.
Yeah.
And just seeing a lot of the deep learning side of things, because even I think I was watching someone stream something and they were just talking about the mobile phone, about their gallery, like on your mobile phone, and how amazing that the AI learns different photos. That's all to deal with deep learning as well too. It can recognize
categorize it for you. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can just
I
do
know
search. Go,
on
I
my
want a piece of paper.
Samsung phone, whenever I screenshot, it's like, oh, is this a meme? I'll put this into your meme folder for you and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, and it's all done automatically these days anyway. So, and that's just by compute power these days. Even though we are going a lot more cloud-based, where hopefully a lot of the deep learning is trying to go cloud-based, just because we just need our general computers can't do it. Yeah, so even like that big Threadripper product, it does all right. But then again, the deep learning is done on the graphics card anyway. Again, that's where you need those big VRAMs that I'm talking about. Hence why those the 3090s are coming into play. I know a lot of people don't get the 3090s, but the 3090s are ideal, but they are very costly. Unlike the 3080s, where they're a lot better, but they do have lacking in VRAM. So you only get a certain amount of data sets in the VRAM for the 3080s cards.
I think I saw with the rumor mill that there's 3090 supers in the works in like the next 3 months' time with 36 gig of VRAM. So that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Well, I've got the AMD W6800, and that's got like 48 gigs of VRAM. That's just insane. So I was like, yeah, I'm loving that. So I'm still trying to get that working with deep learning, because it's not something I'm very good at in the first place, and there's a lot of Perl, which I can't remember how to program Perl in the first place anyway. So trying to benchmark, and I'm trying to get some experts to benchmark this card, because you need translation software. And for deep learning, it's usually TensorFlow or PyTorch, and both of them I don't even know. But I've learned a bit of stuff because they're coming from either Facebook or Google, so it's one of those two in a way. But it's amazing what those two big companies have done. Besides, usual what you see, but what they actually do for a lot of research on side.
Absolutely. Well, even Google has its own. I saw that they create their own custom silicon for example, the live video that we're doing now on YouTube. They have cards which will say receive the 1080p footage and then uses AI to instantly downscale it to or upscale it to the various resolutions. So it's
pretty cool. I've got some more people in the channel. I just realized that. G'day, Richard, and g'day, Zara, and g'day, Alex. How are you doing? We're just chatting away, a lot of random stuff anyway. So, but no, I think it's really amazing what the AI these days can do for it as well too. Anyway, while we're on just talking about computers as well as this is something I actually wanted to ask you, because I've been talking about this in the live stream the last probably 2 weeks or so, because I've had some new i9s come in from the laptops, and I really am, because of how much they heat up, of course, from i9s, and really they heat up so much to the point where once they hit their thermal limit, they're totally useless, because they're worse than the i7s. And really, you're really buying for the high Yeah, you're really just buying for the high clock speeds, the single core clock speeds.
Yep.
Now, in when I was just doing a little bit of research again, for myself and just for general knowledge, is that a lot of the professional applications these days have already moved to multi-core, rather than staying single core. And so when we engage that single core performance, it's if it's lucky to even hit 15 seconds at high maximum boost. Suppose it's meant
Yep.
to do 5 gigahertz, which I've never seen really go to. Uses about 4.8 or 4.9 at the very most,
Yeah.
but 5 gigahertz. But the thing is, I hear this a lot, that a lot of games prefer that high single core, and I don't know if this is still true to the day or
Yes,
not.
and it's a mixed bag. It also like first person shooters generally, yes. But if you're playing, say, an RTS game which has a lot of AI components, they tend to use more
Yep.
multi-core. But then I guess there's also how much optimization that the companies want to put into it. Like Doom Eternal, like
Yep.
it's one of the most optimized, flawless games that there is. Like a 6-year-old PC can run that at 120 FPS and look amazing. And then you come into another AAA title like Call of Duty, and it's, if you have a 5-year-old PC, any kind of
Yeah.
firefight, your main thread will hit 100%, and you'll be getting 3 FPS going where I get shot from. So yeah, it's a lot of it comes down to what engines the companies use and what the design studios want to focus their time on. Like saying Doom, perfectly optimized, works great. So I'm going to be really interested when Intel's next series comes out, where they get doing those big little
Elder Lake, isn't it? Yeah, the 8 efficiency cores and 8 performance cores is what I heard, and I am trying to get in. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get anything from Intel yet. But I have had some briefing from them, but not much as per se I can leak out that much anyway. But there is 8 performance cores and 8 efficiencies cores. That's all we can really say about it. But it does look pretty sweet, and unfortunately, until we get those in our hands, I can't really, as always, you can't really trust the performance they give you, because they are in their control environment, maybe in their optimized mode or whatever, very selected environments and stuff like that. So, but it is going to be interesting to see. But still, I think it may be very beneficial just to have those 8, as they think it might work, is to have those 8 efficiency cores. But suppose those 8 efficiency cores run really fast anyway. So it's going to be interesting to see how they run. Whereas, if you go AMD, it's just all performance. So which is something maybe like, you could.
We'll have 16 cores of performance, and Intel's like, hey, we'll give you 8 performance and then 8 half.
But then again, you think about it, that like for us, for you gamers, because I'm not much of a gamer. I think the only game I play is mostly on my mobile phone these days. That's pretty much it. But for the gamers who are on desktop computers, that's probably something that they don't mind having, like full blown performance. But for business computers, they do want to have better power efficiency. So that could be something what they're marketing, that Intel are marketing for. Because if you can save power by just a little bit, just like the new ATX, why not? I think that's what the new ATX standards coming through is, just to bring down that standby power down as well too. So I guess that's the way that they're moving forward to. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's also nice seeing the different ways that the companies are approaching it. Like AMD is now going to be adding more cache directly onto the die itself with their 3D stacking technology. And Intel is doing the big little design. So yeah, it's going to be interesting.
So one's going for then again, AMD's always was trying to hit the HPC area anyway.
Absolutely.
So that's what they are, up to performance.
It's an absolutely massive market for AMD. So if they can get those big server bucks, then why not?
Why not? And then it just filters down to the next air level, and then it filters down to the laptops. As we're starting to get more laptops coming through with AMD's in there as well too. So I guess, but I'm not sure if you ever played with them, the new laptops from the Intel ones, the Tiger Lake ones, and they're really the Tiger Lake were all right, but the Tiger Lake H processors, wow, they were pretty much very similar in performance to the AMD 5000 mobile chips. So they're doing really well. I was blown by it.
The last laptop I have is my 6-year-old Lenovo
the
ThinkPad that
Carbon
work
5
gives me.
Yeah, no, that's I remember that was the Carbon Gen 5, wasn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it should be
third generation.
a third generation. Okay, a little bit older than I thought it was anyway. Because I remember I saw it. Yeah, I remember I was seeing. I was like, "Hey, it's a nice X1." But yeah, third generation. It hasn't changed too much. Actually,
hasn't changed at all.
Actually, up to Gen 8, it hasn't changed too much. Gen 9, which I have, that changed a lot. That changed massively. They did a huge amount of change. Whole redesign of the whole entire laptop. Now, I actually just received this yesterday from Intel. So they've given me this one here, which is the X1 Carbon Yoga. This is Gen 6, so this is kind of pretty new. I think this has been out for a couple
months. I bought
maybe.
my sister last week.
Yeah. So
a new laptop for her business, and I was like, X1 Yoga. Yep.
Yeah, this is nice. Like I like the Yogas. Yeah, this is the Intel one too as well too. I don't know if they're going to make an AMD one or not. I hope they do. But these are great laptops, and it feels really premium. Like this is that silver bill.
It looks premium, yeah.
It is premium. Yeah, definitely. It's got a very unfortunately you can't really see it on the camera, but it's got this nice, really graphite sort of look to it as well too. And speed wise, it does all right. Like for i7, because this is the i7 version. But this
touchscreen too, isn't it?
Yeah, touchscreen, and it has also on the side here. I'll just see if I can bring it out. It also has a pen, a built-in pen. So you can then scribble on the screen and stuff like that. So that's the beauty of these things. And the speakers on these are great because they're like your X1 Carbons. I know you got the third version, but since the Gen 6, they really upgraded the speakers on the Gen 6 massively compared to the Gen 5 in a way. So if you ever get a new version, if work gives you a new version, definitely go for the Gen 9. You'll find it's a big, massive improvement. Plus, also the display has changed. It went from a 16:9 to a 16:10 as well, too, aspect ratio. So you'll find, you'll find you actually like just having this one here is a 4K version. This one at the moment is at 200% because I was like, this is just too small. So not by default, it's recommended it's 300% zoom. So I was like, oh geez, that's magnification is humongous up. But I needed to do I need to do a spec view pref, and spec view pref only works at 100% anyway. So we've got some questions here. Let me have a look and see what's that. How do you make a choice between Precision 7 series and the ThinkPad P series workstation? It really there's a couple of things, and this is probably an answer for me because firstly it comes down to besides the price, it comes down to also after support as well. If you have good after support for warranty wise, for your Dell or Lenovo, it's really up to you because you find your experience for that country. It's different for each country, unfortunately. Here in Australia, I like the Dell very well because of our working relationship, but Lenovo also do very well here in Australia as well too. But I find if I need speed, Dell is definitely good. Now, it comes also down to shipping at the moment for here in Australia. The shipping to Australia for Dells are anywhere between probably, like I said earlier in the start of the stream, around about 3 to 6 weeks, 8 weeks maybe. Lenovo's, I've got like 4 to 6 months waits on any Lenovo's. So it's also how fast you can get them. If you're ordering online, if you see it in the shop, then that's not a really issue. Yep. Now, as for performance wise, I generally like the idea that you can actually customize the performance from the Dell Precisions because you've got the ability to change the power schemes. Now, I know in the P1 special, it's only in the P1 Gen 4. The P1 Gen 4 has a special unlock feature for the ultra performance mode, which is in BIOS. It's only to the P1 Gen 4 that I know of. But else, it's pretty much your normal Windows and Lenovo software just does the optimization for performance. Now, Lenovo's normally run at as fast as it can in the first place. Now, as for the heat-wise, I find that probably the Dells do run a little bit just a little small less in terms of temperature compared to Lenovo's in generally, but that's really about it. I do find if you're looking at the 7000 series, they are a little bit more thicker as well too. So they may find, but weight wise, when you get to the 7000 series, so I know it's Callan, you're probably flying this whole head, but the 7000 series and the P1 series are pretty much your big suck. So kind of like your Alienware M series, that really big suckers that you're pretty much lugging around bricks around with you in a way.
2 kilos
But
of
yeah,
copper in your backpack.
yeah, that's it. So the things that charge you like more than an arm and a leg pretty much for these things anyway. So
Yep.
they usually start at, like here in Australia, I think they usually start anywhere between about 4,000 and could go up to about $27,000 for these things anyway. For a laptop, you go, what the ethic? But yeah, but yeah, you can put some really crazy, you can put Xeons in them. You can put them in with the Quadro. I think they can go up to the A6000 now in the film. So that's where you're paying big bucks, and it's got four. I think they can go up to 128 gigs of RAM, and then you can do. These things are like literally servers, like mini servers inside them anyway. So you can have like 4 SSDs in them and stuff. That's crazy. But yeah, for me, that's what I look at is the warranty support, the after support. As for the terms of performance-wise, they usually are very, very similar. Once you get to the 7000 series and also the P1 series, the thermals are very thick, so they have plenty of time, plenty of room to actually just let the processor run off its course. So they're going to be very similar in the terms and way. So hopefully that will answer your question there, Navi. We got another one here. What is this? Would you guys upgrade to Windows 11? Now, this is something I'm going to ask Callan this anyway. But before that, I'll just tell my experience here. So I know some of the manufacturers are already moving towards moving some of their new laptops over to Windows 11. I think Dell's are doing it next month, where every computer that sell will automatically be pre-packaged with Windows 11. Now, I know a lot of businesses aren't ready for Windows 11 neither. I've talked to a few people who run IT departments in different businesses, and they haven't unpacked their Windows 11. They haven't even started testing Windows 11. Most companies are probably even running Windows 10, and will probably run Windows 10 for a fair number of years. I was down the local Optus shop, and I know they were running Windows 7. They were running Windows 7, which is out of support now because a lot of us are trying to move away from Windows 7. But they were connecting to a server that was Windows 2000.
Wow!
And you're like, wow. But that's not. When I was working with Telstra, they had Windows NT. And they'd probably still, I wouldn't be surprised they're still running Windows NT or something like that, because even though it's old support, but they're strong. They don't need things. If it doesn't break, don't change it.
Well, I know just for the company I work for, like we have lots of old legacy systems, which most of them still have DOS prompts, but if it's not broke, then why fix it? If it's doing everything still efficiently, then there's no real point to upgrade. But in regards to Windows 11, from my understanding, there's going to be lots of performance uplifts for multi-threaded applications, where it will better handle the core affinity, and it will be able to detect, for example, like with AMDs, if it has CCXs, so that way it's not splitting load between different CCXs or putting the same task using the same resources into the same one. Whereas also apparently Intel's next design works like 15% better in Windows 11 than Windows 10.
I hear that as well,
because it can handle the difference between the big cores and the small cores to directly to better allocate the task to those threads. So I personally, when it's available, we'll switch over.
Yeah, I think personally I will probably switch over myself as well, just so I can play with them and also test them with the new ones, because I do know that they do need requirements. So one of the requirements is TPM, which is for the encryption for the so basically just to help add out. And most of the new computers would have TPM already installed in a way. But I know also a lot of old computers won't have that, so it won't be able to install it on the old computers. Now, as for putting yourself over to Windows 11, if you have a new computer within the year or two, I'll probably say it's probably worth going to Windows 11. If you got anything older, I don't think at the moment it's worth going to Windows 11. You're probably better to stick with Windows 10. Anything at the moment, I don't even know if Windows with this new Tiger Lake H processors, as well as the new mobile, we're talking about probably the AMD Ryzen Mobile 5000 chips. I don't even know if they even take advantages of Windows 11s that it's able to take on. I know the next generation will. So that's what Windows 11 will be great for. So if you're getting anything new in the next generation for the mobile chips as well as the desktop computers, with the Elder Lake, so basically I think it's I don't know, is it going to be 12th gen? What was it?
Yes, it'd be 13th
gen. Yeah, 12th gen for desktops. 12th gens, and then I don't know, whatever AMD decides to call the next gens, that will be definitely more advantageous to have Windows 11.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking anyway.
I guess the benefit too is obviously there's no penalty when they first roll over. So if you don't want to take that risk, you can let all the early adopters, do all the bug finding and Microsoft have it fixed in time for when you actually force to switch over. Like I know myself, I was one of the late switches over to Windows 10. From Windows 7, I didn't do it until it was forced, pretty much. And the same from XP to 7, actually, too. Because I was always like, I have all these older games, and it used to always be a problem updating to a newer Windows having backwards compatibility issues. At least now, for the most part, going from 7 to 10, that's non-existent these days. I'm assuming it's probably going to be exactly the same from 10 to 11, but luckily we do have that opportunity for everyone else to go first, and then us to follow along after.
You probably brought up probably the most important point there is if your software is compatible or not. That's the biggest thing. Have they moved? Are they able to work with? And that's really purely you testing it out. Now I don't know if they're going to have a rollback feature for Windows 11 to go back to Windows 10 if it all screws up, or you probably more like just have to reinstall anyway. But I'm sure they've got that compatibility function just like they have it with Windows 10, where you can run things in compatibility mode. But that's a bit funky sometimes.
I guess it would all be company dependent too. Like I know for ourselves, not just Windows. We had an issue with one of our key softwares. There was only a specific version of Chrome number that a specific version of Chrome it would actually work on. Anything newer, and the software would break. So we had to wait about 18 months for both the company and Google to get their ducks aligned, so the program could actually be updated to the latest Chrome. It's crazy.
That's the same for us over in my organization with the new M1 chip and Big Spur. We only kind of gave it the approval for Big Spur upgrade probably I think it was only about 3 weeks ago or so. We held back because we had so many compatibility issues with software. As a corporation, we just have to hold it back. So that it really comes down to what your software is running. If you think it will run with Windows 11, or you can just install it, give it a go. If worse comes worse, just make sure you back up and then so you can roll back later on. Is probably what I would suggest anyway. So for Windows. So that's how we got. Samara's got Workplace Windows 10's introduction lineup with the start of COVID. So sorry, this change. Yeah, it's good, but the thing is, we've moved a lot of our fleet over to Windows 10 because of the fact that Windows 7's end of line support. It keeps pushing back, but it will one day stop support, and then therefore makes a security risk for especially the cybersecurity team will probably just say, nah, we can't have these old Windows. They either got to be off the network, or we just can't have them on anymore. Or you have the whole entire fleet Windows 7 anyway. So, but yeah, everyone's moving towards Windows 10. Everyone should be, and I have to say, Windows 10 is good. Windows 8 was rubbish. Windows Vista was rubbish, but Windows 10 and Windows 7 was really decently good. But I don't know how Windows 11 is, because normally the next version after a good one's usually a bad version. So, so
good,
it is something usually it is good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. I've never had a double good. So we'll see how that goes anyway. But Microsoft did say that Windows 10 was going to be their last Windows, and they're just going to just do the feature upgrades. But hey, look, they brought out a Windows 11 and just kind of went back on their
Surprise,
their words. Yeah, surprise! Windows 11 was what the. So yeah, but I think that's the best way, is just to hold back. I wouldn't be upgrading straight away unless you're experimental and you know your software is either going to work or you want to try out. But yeah, it all depends. But definitely,
hard drive lying around.
Yeah, that's as well. But yeah, but if you've got, but I think for the next generation of processors, definitely I'd be looking at moving towards Windows 11, because you'll take advantage of the new technologies built hardware wise built into it. So yeah, but yeah, what's your opinion on M1 chips compared to the i7 i9 chips? Currently I know currently there are a few issues, a few popular products provided about compatibility with M1, and still wanted to know. Yeah, it's the same thing though. It's all about software. If your software works well with M1, then it's a great chip. I can't deny that. They have absolute great efficiency, great performance for the Macs. It's really weird that they don't have fans, so it'd be nice if they had fans. Even with the MacBook Pro, it's got a fan, but it barely kicks in. But yeah, definitely, because it's an ARM base, it's got great battery power, battery life, and I can't deny that it's great. But it is a big nightmare for support-wise if the software does not work. So it all depends, again, software.
Going from x86 to ARM, I know. Before M1 tried it, like Microsoft and a lot of the tablet makers were trying to make ARM solutions just for their own, so they wouldn't have to rely on Intel and AMD for chips, and they were trying to use all different kinds of funky emulators. So it definitely is good that Intel has made their own, because it's pushed a lot of industry to program for both. Being such a big provider for the industry. But like you're saying, the M1 chips run nice and cool because they are on the bleeding edge of tech. Like they co-research with TSMC to get the latest and greatest nodes. Like they are the first in line for the next 3 nanometer chips from TSMC. But I think they're coming towards at the end of this year. So they're going to be immensely powerful.
Yeah, so I think for me, definitely it depends on software. But like I respect it. I definitely respect it. That's why I don't try to bag it out on my channel at all. But I do respect it. It's just that, again, at the moment, just give me a lot of headaches because of software issues, and it takes a while because it is generation 1. It's going to take a while for a lot of the developers to actually bring their software compatible wise. And I know boot camp at the moment is you can't boot camp it, so that's one thing. And even with the virtualizations for, I think at the moment VM Fusion doesn't work, but I think it parallel works. I think maybe Fusion might be compatible now for it, but it is still a nightmare just to run things in virtual space for the Macs in a way. But they are great machines. But yeah, the one thing I know is that they did bring down the costs of producing the chip, but they should also bring back down the price of the device selling to retail overall, but they didn't. They kept it the same. So they're making more ching.
They have to get more revenue for the shareholders.
That's it, don't I?
Don't worry about the 300 billion in cash that they have in the bank. It's fine.
All right, I was also average user M1 Note chip. Yeah, average user, if you're doing your office productivity work, no problems at all. They're great. They're fantastic. They've got great displays, great speakers. I love the speakers on them. They're fantastic audio, good webcam on them, very light, good battery life, and great performance as well for what you're paying for. And it really is depending on software compatibility. And that's pretty much about it. So, I am hoping they bring out the 14-inch. I am waiting. I think there's a DCI, whatever was a WDC coming out on the 14th. I think in about a week's time or so, and hopefully they'll announce the new Macs, or if they will announce the new Macs. I'm hoping they will. I think they're going to at least do the iPhones, but I'm hoping they announce a new Mac because I've been waiting to see the new, hopefully the rumored 14-inch and this new 16-inch anyway. And I'm hoping they do put it in the graphics chip in there, because that's what the M1's lacking at the moment is the graphics.
Horsepower,
horsepower graphics anyway. So, but we'll see how it goes anyway. So,
It's going to be
Oh, this one.
interesting too, how the industry goes, because with the potential ARM and NVIDIA merger, I saw
Yeah.
that that Intel, AMD, and pretty much everyone in Apple as well were all looking for RISC-V developers and architects, because they're all worried that if NVIDIA does get ARM, that they could take the licensing away from them. So they're getting ahead of the curve and
Yeah, yeah,
planning
that's it.
ahead.
I think a lot of them are just going that way just because they know, oh, everyone's moving that because Apple's moved, and then that means everyone, which is kind
Yeah,
of good because they kind of force the whole industry to move,
yeah,
and also get software compatible. Because we've had ARM for what, God, probably a good decade or so, maybe a while
yeah,
ago now, but it's all been dragged down by software. So this
yeah,
is actually
pretty
pushing
much.
software companies to move. So that's kind of good. I think it's a good thing. So I can't say too much bad things about it. No, let's have a look at this. Trading a MacBook Pro to get an Air. No, I'm agree. The difference, I'm not sure you ever played between the two MacBook Pros and the Mac Airs for the M1s, but they're practically the same. Everything's the same. Just one extra port. I think it's one extra Thunderbolt port and a fan, and that's pretty much it. Between the two, you might as well save yourself a couple $100 because you can buy maybe one of those dongles, because you're gonna have to have a dongle anyway because they don't have any ports besides those stupid Thunderbolt ports. And so you might as well save a couple hundred, because those dongles will cost you anywhere between $50-$60. Save yourself a couple $100, and it pretty much run the same, and it's lighter. So I definitely say that the Mac Airs are the best choice if you're looking at a MacBook. So that's just advice for everyone, right? And that's from my experience, because they are literally the same machines, just different I/O ports, and that's pretty much it. Let's have a look at this. All I do is video streaming and browse. Yeah, you'll be fine with the M1. No problems at all. I don't think you might even just use an iPad. It's probably cheaper to get an iPad in a way if you're just streaming videos and watching YouTube, because they're really good. But they are bringing up price, because that still be a couple $100 you save anyway, if you're not really working on things. So yeah. Okay, also I got a wired question, guys. This is from Brian. When you use a laptop, would you plug the power in all the time, or only plug the power when the battery runs out? Very confused. Okay, so I'll answer from my side. I run a lot of screens, so I always have it connected to a dock. So that would always charge the computer anyway. So, but if you're not running off the dock, this all depends on if you need the processing power or not. Because if you run off battery, a lot of the laptops, I'm pretty sure every laptop will throttle itself down to try. Even if you put it in performance mode, it won't allow it to use ultra performance mode unless it's connected to mains power. So if you're running something you need to do encoding and you want to run this computer, a laptop in its maximum speed performance, then definitely have it connected to mains power. But if, say, for example, you're just doing your office productivity work and you're just streaming videos and stuff like that, then yeah, sure, just unplug the power. It's fine. It's really all depends on convenience. But if you're doing, like, for all my benchmarks, I need always connected to power, because I know it will get. Yeah, and you'll find also some power schemes will only work if you connect to power. So I know Asus is one of them that I recently tested, that if you don't have it connected to power, it won't even engage in ultra performance mode at all, even if you set it in display. So, but yeah, I'll love to hear what your thoughts.
There's a few of the bigger laptops. I think you might have even had one which has 2 power packs. I know those ones, there's no way that you can get full power directly from the battery, and actually give you an error on the screen if you try and do it.
It does.
To connect the power packs. But for me personally, I like myself, like Brian has, I work from home on my big monitor. So mine's
very big monitor.
Yeah, very big monitor. So I'm always hooked up to a dock as well. That being said, because mine is a 3rd gen Lenovo, being like 5 years old, the battery life is not the best. and I refuse to go into my office to get it fixed. So
well, it's called on-site warranty anyway, which I don't know if it's on still void, because only max is 5 years. 5 years in for Lenovo. But I also want to make to tell people, because I know this is questions been asked, is people are afraid if they connect the computer always to power, will it kill the battery quicker? And the question, and basically the answer is no, it won't kill the battery quicker, because these batteries have like little mini computers built into them. So it'll only charge itself when it needs to trickle charge. It's actually quite smart. They've actually got, I don't know if I can't connect it up to this computer. They actually have a lot of the software. If you look in some of the softwares like Lenovo or even Dell, HP, I think I saw it in Asus as well. They've got a special tab in where it's called battery life. And that's that little special computer trying to help out to manage the battery life, to actually, even if you connected mains power, it'll trickle charge, or it does whatever it needs to do to take care of the battery, to save the battery from dying from the old time where we need to drain it down to like 20% or something. Then you charge it all back up to try and keep the battery as long as it's possible. That's gone these days. You don't have to worry about it. So just if you can chuck it on mains power, leave it on mains power if it's convenient for you. If not, if you're just moving about, then yeah. Say for example you're on a couch, I don't think you need to put it on mains power. But if you're on a desk, yeah, if it's simple and convenient, chuck it on mains power. That's my advice.
Yep.
So hopefully that helps you.
Agree too.
Yep. What's this? Yep, just the fan. Pretty much ports the same. Yeah, that's for about the Pro and the Air there. Can't say. Was it Stan? Browsers on iOS has become a MacBook for me. It's not an iPad. Okay, yeah, it's true. I've got a big question here. Yeah, tech question. Oh wow, here we go. Phones have become such a powerful tool in our lives. It's replacing our wallets, cameras, computers, GPS. I see wearables being the thing after that. What do you think is after? Okay. Oh, well, I don't know. I was going to say glasses, but that's a wearable. That
is a wearable.
So there is another thing that I know that's coming up as well too, which is having chips inside the that back of your palm, I've seen that where you just scan things and track things, because especially even for tracking for COVID, even though you don't want to do it, but they've also got other things just to make things more usable. I think they're doing some trials down. I think it's in South Australia.
That's with Pfizer and AstraZeneca, right? Every time you get it, you can just go and then pay away things.
Look, have you been vaccinated?
Yeah.
But no, I think they were just doing it for other things, and they're going to combine it with other stuff as well too, with the kind of like more of a chip built into you, so you can actually scan things. You can put your credit card or add more things. It's basically a smart chip, really. So I do think that's the way, but I don't think we're at even close to having a stage where we got chips implanted into us. I have an area that have been looking at it, but that's for very, very specific reasons for medical. But as for like just a general population, I don't see that happening within probably a decade's time. Yeah. Not even a decade. Within decade, we'll look at something implantations of things near even this general area anyway. So they'll be only for very special reasons anyway. So that's my thought. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I would personally love it for everyone of us to become cyborgs one day. And I know Elon Musk says this a bit, where we essentially are, because this is like the first time in human history where we have so much information at our fingertips, and that's always at our phones. But the downside is we have such low bandwidth, because whenever we're trying to do stuff, we're having to type or speak. Whereas obviously, if we had a neural interface, we had to put so much more throughput through. But I think my dream of that happening would firstly be in the medical field, where they can try and, someone has epilepsy or stuff like that, to try and to remedy that first, and then from there there'll probably be many techs spawn out from that.
Yeah, so, just like I'm thinking, it's be for special medical cases first, and then for general population, for other stuff like we see in movies. I think that would be much, much later, maybe. I don't think, like I said, within this decade or two, that anything that sort of will happen in a way. But it'll be cool. Yeah. But yeah, I did. This was what I was thinking is the Google glasses. I do wish it actually did take off, but I don't know about having it on one side. Having it both sides is kind of nice, like the head-up display. It would be like my Automator, where you have that bandit thing. If you remember from what's the name? A2 was it B2? I can't remember. B2. 2B. Sorry, 2B. You don't know what I'm talking about here.
Nope, no idea.
It's the game I'm playing at the moment, which is Automator. So it's
Is that on your phone?
Yeah, it's on my phone, but it's also
Okay.
part of it. Initially, it started being a PS5. It was a PS4, no PS4, a PS4 game, and then of course they ported over to the computer. So you've seen the cosplay for it. Let me
I would
bring
have
it
seen
up.
the cosplay many times.
Yeah. So just do Google search for 2B. One of my emojis is so just do Google Play for 2B, 2B, and then Nier. So NIER. It's my favorite game. I love this game. It's a great game. I played it. It's so amazing.
Yes, I've seen it cosplay many times.
Yeah, you've seen it play the type. Yeah, but when you see her, she's got this like bandit over her face. That bandit over her face is not made to make her blind. That's her heads-up displays. Her HUD.
Okay.
It's really cool. Yeah, I was like, wow, okay, that's a different way of doing a thing. It makes it look sexy though. So yeah, definitely. But I like to see heads-up displays. I definitely know they're used for military for that as well too. So, but yeah. So let's have a look. Has anyone heard about the pink screen and reboot issue with the Mac M1? Not yet, actually. Not yet. That's a new one to me. I haven't. I'll have a look at it. He's had it for like what, about 2 months, and once is 3 months. Oh, that's not very good. I'll definitely talking to Apple about it.
Sure.
I'll be definitely talking to Apple about it, Tom, because if it's within 3 months, you definitely go Apple support. That's for sure. And you go, what's going on with this? A green screen. I know what the green screen is. That's usually to do with what we call, what's that protection called? Copyright protection. When you try and spit out to a different display and it's not got the correct
like the HDCP connection.
Yeah. That's the green screen, but I've never seen. I don't know about the pink screen though, so that's a new one to myself. Let's have a look. Would it be benefit of a chip of a watch? When would you disconnect it? I'll kind of show you how to disconnect it. I'll just take it off. But to charge it, to charge it for the battery. That's what I would disconnect it, because I have to charge this battery for it. Because the chips itself, it'll be interesting to see if I ever put the chip inside the how will it get the energy from. That's how
I assume it could possibly like wirelessly charge. Because
that's true.
Because if you're taking this off to charge something else, you could charge it and then put it on you, and then
I was just I was just thinking you just have to sleep with your palm on something
your arm on a QI charger.
Yeah, QI charger. That would be hilarious if you that's the only way to charge it. Now I think they'll make it like probably charge it with but either through blood or some way to charge, or maybe solar has through your skin it will be charged. But yeah,
I'll just shave my head and polish it a bit. There we
go. I can see contact lenses being. Oh, contact lenses will be cool. That would be a really nice idea. Oh, that's definitely an idea. I think that would be cool.
I would like a 4x zoom contact lens.
My spy lens, my X-ray lens as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to change to my thermal lens now.
Yep.
I think that would be cool. That would definitely be cool. That's a great idea. Anyway, so I mean, how would you disconnect from a chip, not the watch? Oh, okay.
Saw.
Just like the spy movie, you just pluck it out. Oh, dig it in, cut it out, dig it in. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's a QI charger. Yeah.
Yeah. What was that one there? I hear the whole bed becomes a QI charger. I think that will be hilarious. Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah. But anyway,
and hey Chris,
we'll be it's good to see your housemate there. Wow, we've been running for about an hour now. We've been talking garbage for an hour. That's kind of surprising, what we've done.
A standard night with us, Brian.
I know. We're just talking about crap. We've learned a few things. I learned a few things, and it's good just to hear your perspective of stuff as well too, and just have a good chat with you as well too. So
absolutely.
But yeah. Just to let you guys know, I have got this is for a lot of my viewers anyway. I have received the new Dell Latitudes XPS 9510. So that's the consumer version of the Precision 5560. So it's got the new Tiger Lite H processor in there, and it's instead of having the Quadro cards in there, it has the GeForce RTX 3050. I think it's the 3050 Ti. I think it is. I'm not sure what it is. I know it's a 3050. They only just arrived literally this morning for me, and I've just unpacked them. Oh, cool! But finally, that 15-inch new XPS has arrived. So I'll slowly get up that review going anyway. So it's going to be interesting to see, because I have good hopes for it compared to the previous version, which is what my daily drive is. So yeah. I don't know if you like the XPSs or not, Callan, or not.
I personally have no preference. I had an XPS in high school and uni, but yeah, personally, no preference. As long as it's speedy, has plenty of cores, has an NVMe hard drive in it, I'm set.
Yeah, it's got all those tick boxes. It's basically Dell's version of the MacBook. That's pretty much it. Yep. They try to make it really light and thin. They've pretty much ripped all the ports out, just like only Thunderbolt ports. But at least they've kept the SD card reader in there, which is great for content creations. Unlike the Macs, they don't have that. It would be nice if they kept the HDMI port. They can definitely easily kept the HDMI port. They didn't. They've got that really nice display as well. And of course, they've always got the new version of the processor in there. So for Dell, it's their state of the line, before anything else, or the commercial market. Yep. They try to put into the XPS range anyway. So it's got a beautiful screen. It's got this crazy, like, I've got my one here, which is currently running this way. I'll just see if I can bring that. It's because I don't know if I'm going to disconnect or not, but no, I'm going to disconnect.
Too far away, Brian.
I will make it through. Here we go. So it's got this. Look how much dust there is on it. Because I literally do not actually do anything with it. It's because it's constantly docked in there, and I run this. I have it open all the time. I don't have it in clamshell mode. People will ask me. Well, hold on a second. People ask me why I have my computer always open up. It's just for the heating, just to let the thermals run at its maximum speed. Because in clamshell mode, it's got a bit of a blockage for where the exhaust vents are. But yeah, it's got a massive trackpad. It's probably, I wouldn't be surprised it'd be bigger than the MacBooks. The trackpad on the XPS is just stupidly big. That big that I actually would complain about it. That's how bad it is. But it's it's good computer. So it's definitely look at this. I've got some questions. Maybe this one's for. Oh, there we go. How are you finding ETH 559? How are you finding it?
I personally hate it. Look, it could have been worse. Luckily, the price of Ethereum's gone up to kind of like carry the loss of mining profit a bit. But obviously, recently when there's been huge volatility spikes, normally the miners would have been lapping up every bit of it, but it's all been burnt. So I'm a little bit salty about that, but it is what it is.
I'm going to have to say one thing, though, that's kind of helped it out is there's a lot of transactions at the moment. So the networks is currently flooded. So overall, even though we've lost a little, it also, because of the amount of transactions involved at the moment, it's pretty much as if there was no IP 1559 at the moment. That's kind of the earnings at the moment that I feel.
Well, it's because like they're still giving miner fees to try and push their miner tips to get their transactions in, but there's still heaps of ETH being burnt. Like the last transaction, I have a block explorer up over on the side of my screen, and the last block was 2 ETH and they burnt 2.3 ETH. So technically we've lost like 55% on that block. So if it wasn't in there, it'd be more, but it is what it is.
hey, look, it's better than nothing. When ETH 2.0 comes out, it's better than nothing.
I mean, it's free money.
It is. So it's kind of cool anyway. So a MacBook rumor to bring back SD. I have heard that rumor. I don't know. Normally Apple don't listen to a lot of the consumers. They don't like to listen to consumers. They say they do, but they do not. I can definitely tell they will do what they want to do because they will push the market to what they think they want to do. Yeah. So putting an SD slot could be a backwards thing. And that they don't want to go backwards. They will never want to go backwards. That's the thing, is what I realized. I think the only one that I've seen they caved in was the keyboard. that was trash. The butterfly keys.
Yeah, I was about to say the
Um,
butterfly ones where they had them super thin, but yeah, they were.
Yeah, that was trash, and they actually went back to the old style a little. I think that's the only time when I've actually seen them went back to technology because something just was not happening for at all. But everything else, I don't see them bringing things back. All I can see is them losing more things. Maybe they might not even have any ports, and they would just wish us to go cloud based completely,
Yep.
and spend more money for their iCloud storage and all that funky stuff, and probably put in like the most crazy newest version of maybe Wi-Fi version 7 or something like that, just to move us forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see us moving back with the SD card. I like them to, but I don't see them doing that because quite simply they are a bit wholly about trying to make more money, and to make more money they've got to get people to buy adapters and all that ecosystem of just spending money. So I don't see them putting an SD card reader. I like to see it. I really do.
I think they'll
It would surprise me.
A dongle, but yeah, I don't see them going back to SD cards because I don't think the demand would be quite there either. Obviously, you'd have your photographers and stuff like that who would love it. But yeah, not the majority of the market, unfortunately.
Yeah, there is also rumors about them having bringing back the MagSafe charger as well, which was an absolute great invention back in the old Macs. I love those ones there. So there was a rumor about that bringing back in, but we'll see how that comes along, because it will take away one of the Thunderbolt 4, one of the USB Type C ports, and they're already limited in space in terms of on the sides already because it's very, very small. Maybe what they might do is what I'm thinking is they might bring in the Qi charger instead, just like the iPhones. Maybe I might do a bigger version of that, and then it'll just be a massive magnet for hard drives to wipe themselves. They'll probably have the auto wipe then for the data. Hey, what happened to our hard drives? Oh, we put too big of a magnet. Oh shit.
Yeah. Luckily, it's not that much of an issue now with SSDs compared to the old mechanical drives.
So that's it. So, but then we'll see how that comes along anyway. So, it would be interesting. I also have seen you guys seen the Pixel 5a. I have not seen it. So, have you seen anything like that, mate?
Haven't. No.
I have not seen it. What's the Circle announcements? Pixel 5a is the 5a going to be like a cut down version of the 5 or something? Or
normally,
what does the A mean?
Yeah, the A is always a cut down version. I think last time, for example, like I know the last time I looked at the A versions, it was when the 4 had come out. The 3A was a cut down 4, but they just put it onto like last gen's naming scheme. But yeah, I'm honestly not sure.
No, I'm not into the phone stuff, so I don't know myself. So I haven't really.
I realistically myself only stay in the phone loop when it's time to upgrade my existing phone, and then I'll do a few weeks of research and then straight back in.
I'm the same. Wednesday gas went to 825. That is crazy. I've heard 700. Haven't heard 825. That's massive.
Yeah.
Hey, that's money for us. Money.
I saw that was a record block burn, which was 72 ETH, which in itself was like $400,000 just went poof.
Oh man, so sad, isn't it? Oh, they're looking at getting rid of the touch bar. Thank God. I have complained about that touch bar so many times. This is about the Macs. I don't think you've ever played with a Mac, have you, Callan?
No.
No.
So Chris in our house was the Mac user and still is the Mac user, but never for me.
Yeah, but basically, because I've had one of those the MacBooks with the touch bar, and I've complained about it many times. I think it's a great idea. They just need to do 2 things to it to make it work a little bit better. First is to actually give it a taptic feedback, so you actually know you're pressing a button onto it. So I like the idea it can actually change for some of the functions you can do, which is kind of nice and neat. Which is really great. But without a taptic feedback, you actually go and look on the keyboard and go, did I press that key or not? I'm not sure. And so having a taptic feedback, which they can easily engage the touchpad's taptic feedback, because that's taptic, that's no longer mechanical. So they should have some sort of taptic feedback on that. They'll fix that issue. They did fix up the second issue, which I had gripes with. It was the escape key. They did make it back to a physical key, so which is kind of good, because that was annoying having it as a virtual key for that.
Yeah.
But else, it is pretty much what I call a gimmick than anything else. The touch bar. Why don't they just give us a touchscreen? That's quite simple as that. They won't give us a touchscreen because if they give us a touchscreen, they'll kill the iPad line as well too.
Very true.
So
Very
that's
true.
kind of their idea of trying to keep the touch bar.
Separate.
But if they get rid of the touch bar, I really don't care. It'd be kind of cool. You get more space. They'll probably make it thinner. Maybe like footprint will be smaller. So just because they don't need that space anymore. So I think it's a good idea. Maybe get rid of it. It didn't bring that much use to us. I think there's a very small amount of people who actually use it. Anyway, from what I gather from a lot of my streams and feedback from all my videos. Anyway, so yeah. Oh, okay. What are we up to now? I've kind of lost it. What do you want? Okay, here we go. What do you want to know about the 5A? I have absolutely no idea about the 5A. Not released in Australia, only for US and Japan. Oh, well, there you go. That's probably why we haven't heard about it. We'll have to get Amazon wise to us, isn't it? Circle
the Circle TV show that they have on Netflix, Ben. I think that's the one you're referring to, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I haven't watched. I don't have Netflix, so I can't tell. The circle of the ad they ran. Okay, so it's all about bringing back the. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch that ad to have a look. It's nice to have the headphone jack. I like having headphone jack, but I'm now having to use a adapter for my phone that goes from USB-C to 3.5. But that's the only reason why I use a headphone jack is for if I'm plugging in this little thing, this little doobie, this little wireless mic, this lapel mic. That's the only time when I actually need that headphone jack. Also, I've got pretty much Bluetooth as well too. So that's kind of cool. What's this thing here? Except this Pixel 6 will not have. Is Pixel 6 out already? Jesus, quick.
Not sure.
There you go. What phone are you using at the moment?
I still have a Note 10 Plus, which I think now is about 3 years old. I think.
Oh yeah. Well, it hasn't changed too much.
Yeah, no.
I think the only, because I was down getting another phone for my mother, and we got her S21. But I was looking at the new Folds. They look really good. They do look good, but I think it's the really big Fold I was looking at, which then when you bring it out to because you get the bigger screen, the problem is, because I asked a simple question to the Samsung guy, and I said, how does this look with YouTube going? Can you full screen the whole entire thing to maximum use of thing? And you can't. Yeah. So you see this massive border anyway. So it's like, well, that's kind of useless, because most of the time you're doing content, consuming, which is mostly YouTube anyway. So I don't see. I think at the moment it is first gen anyway for it. So I guess they'll do software updates to try and fix it up.
Well, I know for my Note 10, normally when the YouTube video will launch, it'll have tiny black bars on the side, but I can zoom in so that it will crop the top a tiny bit to make it full screen, which I actually prefer most of the time.
Yeah, I do the same thing on my S20.
I've got my old Pixel 2 right here, actually.
There you go.
A few years old, but it still turns on.
We've got one more.
I'm actually going to say too. My
topic change.
My Note 10 is my video camera right now, which we're watching on.
Cool.
So handy.
All right. Let's have a look. ThinkPad X13 Yoga Gen 2 versus Yoga Gen 5. Price difference is about $9 right now. So confused. The X1 is more premium, but it's older. Okay, so this is one for me to actually answer, because I know about this too. So X13 Gen 2 is going to have a new processor in there, which is the 11th gen processor, whereas the Yoga Gen 5 has the 10th gen processor. Now, the speed between the two processor is not too greatly that big, because the Gen the Yoga Gen 2 has just the normal Tiger Lite. It's not a Tiger Lite H processor wise. It does run cooler, so I have to tell you that. And secondly, you'll find the graphics also better in the Yoga Gen 2 because of the 11th gen processor, which uses the RSXe. So graphics wise, the X13 is a better and faster than the X1 Gen 5. So if the price difference is between the two, and I know the X1 is X1 Yoga Gen 5 is a 14-inch. So you're comparing a 13-inch with a 14-inch. So it depends if you want the screen or you want performance. If you want, I think personally, because I think I did put out the review video for the X13 Gen 2. It does run cooler, and overall, generally, it's probably a better upgrade. Right, so I do have the new Gen 6 out here, which is the Yoga Gen 6, which with me, and that one is probably more comparable to the Yoga Gen 2. So if price wise, I'll still go with the Gen 2. I'll still go with the X13 Gen 2. That's probably it's a good, decent computer. I think the only thing that would probably I would go with the X1 would probably be the speakers, and also the 14-inch if you want a larger display, and that's pretty much about it. Else, I would go with the X13 Gen 2. Hope that answers your questions there. Sorry, she's got another one. Heat on 13 is a deal breaker. No, I think you'll be fine with that one there. It's actually the heat on the Gen 2 is better than the heat on the X1 because of the 10th gen and 11th gen processor difference. The 11th gen processors do run a little bit cooler than the 10th gen, and you get a better performance as well. So I think it's around probably about 15 to 20% better performance in the 11th gen compared to the 10th gen for that. So hopefully that helps you out. What's this one? Only use multi-apps use the folds. Yeah, I think that's what you probably use to do multi apps for the two screens for that Samsung Fold. So I think that is it. But later on, I hope support wise, you can basically make use of the big screens anyway. So yeah. Cool. Look, we've got Tom coming in. I'm getting some lag here. I'm not sure it's probably my NBN. Fuck, my NBN's crap.
I was like, I'm smooth on my screen, but you're really laggy.
I'm jerky. Yeah, I'm connected to Ethernet too. I'm not even running well. I'm about to probably move over to 5G because I'm testing the 5G, just the broadband 5G Optus, and that's running really quick, a lot faster than my NBN anyway. Anyways, after MacBook refund, just ordered a P14S with you're gonna like that. That is gonna be a good computer. Performance difference between the Ryzen 5 and Pro 7 is probably around about 20%, I'd say. Between the two, Ryzen 5 and the Ryzen 7, about 20% difference. But truthfully, it all depends on what you're trying to do. If you're gonna make some doing some number crunching, yeah, that 20% is good. But if you're just doing for your averages, content creation, and even content creation is still fine with the Ryzen 5. If you're just pretty much just office productivity work and just doing average stuff, Ryzen 5 is more than capable of doing anything else. It's only if you really need the performance and the price is not that much, then go for the Ryzen 7. I think that's
absolutely. The Ryzen 7 as well. It's only a few more cores than the Ryzen 5. I think it's 6 versus 8. Like I myself currently my 5950, my big 16 core beast. That's sitting on the floor beside me, and I'm currently using the 5600X. So the desktop version of that CPU, and it runs everything flawlessly. I can stream, I can game, and do everything fine. So until I get my big boy fixed, it's doing me perfectly.
Yeah, I think that's the same case. I usually advise everyone to get the Ryzen 5 because it does run a little bit cooler than the Ryzen 7 generally. Unless you need the performance, then go to the Ryzen 7, or the cost difference is very, very small. Then go to Ryzen 7. Else, Ryzen 5 is more than capable for pretty much most people anyway. And that's pretty much it. So
absolutely,
hope that helps you out. So that's kind of cool. Thanks. Awesome. Thank you for that. And thank you from Tom. That's kind of cool. I think we've got a fair bit. We've done nearly close to 1.5 hours, mate.
It's nearly cup of tea time.
I know. But I think we should do this again sometime soon. Anyway. So it's a good test of this platform. And I think it's great to have you join me on the live stream and just have a chatter. Definitely want to get you on more. I've got plans for getting more guests in as well too. I should get some more of the other guys who are on Twitch, who stream on Twitch, but I'll find out. Or if you can suggest other people as well too. So I don't mind that as well too. So I think it's always nice to have different views from different parts of the business sector, as well as just the gaming community, which I don't really engage too much in these days because I don't game much anyway. But there is a big market there.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. So definitely. Anyway, I think we should just call it a night, and then we'll just be able to. You can play your games, and I'll probably go watch some drama before I try and edit some videos to actually upload, because I'm trying to plan to do the upload of this Latitude 7520. Hope to do that tonight anyway, but it probably won't be. Probably really early this morning that I'll get it out. So it's half edited.
You need your beauty sleep, Brian. You need your beauty sleep.
I don't get any beauty sleep, mate. I get about 4 to 3 hours sleep, and that's it. That's all the sleep I get. Yeah,
any less than 7, and I'm calling in sick.
Mate, I don't get that. I'm not that lucky. I get about 4 to 3 hours, and I'll be lucky to get that. And that's pretty much it. So that's my life for the last 2 years or so with this channel.
You're just reinforcing me, Brian, to not have children.
That too as well. First, you got to put the ring on the finger, and then you can do that next part. Okay. All right, mate. You have a good one. Okay. Thanks for joining me.
It was a pleasure. And thanks for joining us, guys. And thanks for having me, Brian.
And do, guys, follow Callan on his channel, which is the Lazy Benchmarks. When he does reboot that channel, it'd be good if you guys can join it as well too, if he reboots that channel.
When mining crashes.
End of the year. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me as well too.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great night, or have a good morning, and have a good one. And just remember, guys, imperfections in life makes it beautiful and interesting. I'll catch you guys later, guys.